So, Bambino is a amazing series. I would put it in my top 20 of all time. Sadly, practically nobody knows about this series, and even more sad is that there's an actual ongoing sequel to it, which nobody has translated. And that's a shame because I would love to read that second part of it. It is an incredibly good series. First off, it's a cooking series, so if you don't like those at all, then you're fucked. But if you do like cooking, I should note that it is pretty rare in that it doesn't treat cooking like a comedy. Like, there's comedic elements to the manga, but the cooking is very serious, and obviously whoever wrote this knows about cooking or worked as a chef at some point because they clearly know their shit. Um, it's not handled in the way that Toriko is, where the food is just these alien things that just don't make any sense whatsoever. Or even like Shokugeki no Soma, where it's like, oh, I have 5 minutes left to do a dish. Fuck, it's the best thing ever. Like, it's not like that. Like, it's realistic in what it allows the characters to do. And the characters fuck up and stuff like that. It's not a shonen, it's definitely like a seinen manga. So, the plotline is Ban Shogo, which is a bizarre name, I know. Ban is basically a chef, cook, stuff like that, and he's living in a little town in Japan, and he says, you know what, like, I love cooking Italian food, but nobody really gives a shit about it here and stuff like that, so I'm going to move to a big city in Tokyo, and I'm going to make something of myself. And he has this dream, and eventually he gets to be able to do it through a connection through one of the people that he's worked with. And so he goes to a trattoria, which I don't know how to pronounce that in Italian, so fuck me. And basically, he starts working there, and he's put as like a very lowly, like just cleaning up type guy. And he's just like, what the fuck? Like, I'm a good chef. Why am I being put at like such weak ass shit? And so then he slowly realizes how tough stuff really is, and he's slowly allowed to progress through the ranks and try different stuff, and etc. And one of the defining features of the series is by far and above its artwork. The artwork is amazing in this series, and it's because the author is fucking incredible at drawing expressions. Like, it's very much, I hate to keep on coming back to this series because I know there's other ones I can think of. It's just right now it's just on my mind, I guess. It's much like in GTO, where you know how when Onizuka gets serious and they draw his expression really detailed? That's like every page of this series is like that. Like every time somebody, like every page is drawn with really amazing expressions and emotions in the face. So it creates this permanent feeling of intensity, especially when you get to like the dialogue bubbles and stuff like that. The dialogue bubbles are drawn really intensely, and so are the words, and so is the expression and the camera angles. It's very much, it gives you the feeling of actually working in actually working as a chef in one of these high intensity tutorials. It's a very, very well done series. If the author drew a fighting manga, I think it would blow the fuck up because this guy is able to convey, or woman, I don't know if it's a woman or man who makes the series, but they're able to convey so much action and intensity and passion in cooking, in literally the act of just like flipping something in a pan, that if they did this with like a fighting series or something like that and made it like some shonen thing or whatever else, it'd probably like just annihilate everything. But that said, I'm not saying that cooking isn't something to get excited about. It's a very, very good series in that aspect that it makes you learn things about cooking and about the actual restaurant experience, and it still manages to dilute it in a way that you don't get overwhelmed with details and you're still able to understand and comprehend what's going on and actually feel like you're reading a book and not, or reading a manga and not reading like a encyclopedia or a teaching journal, much like the way that, say, Silver Spoon is able to teach you things in that aspect. So it's very, very well done. I would honestly put it in my top 20, like I said. Incredible series. The first series is done. It starts from the time that Ban gets into being a chef at Trattoria, and then a bunch of events happen, including one event that I'm not going to mention because it's a spoiler, but a lot of people were kind of like at this event because it just comes out of nowhere, and it's like one of the biggest shark jumpers I've ever seen in a series. It didn't ruin the series for me. It just was out of nowhere, though. Like, I've never seen many other examples. I haven't seen many other examples in manga or any form of media that just drop shit like that on the character out of nowhere with no foreshadowing, nothing. And arguably there was some foreshadowing, but it was so obscure that nobody would know about it until they'd actually seen the event happen and they go back and analyze it. So either way, it's just a total shot in the dark, like random thing that happens. But I guess that's the whole point of it, is to show that, you know, that kind of stuff can happen. So anyways, you should definitely check it out. It's called Bambino. And if you're wondering what the series is named that for, it's because the character is named Ban Shogo. And a bambino in Italian is like a baby, if I remember right. And so Ban and Bam are very close in Japanese. So said fuck it. But yeah, that's about it.